Hey guys, what's up YouTube family? Yang Gang, it is none other than your boy JGiddins the father. I just decided to do a quick video because I watched the interview that keep saying Yang Gang. The interview that Andrew Yang had on the Real, the show that I think is like a daytime chick flick TV show. I don't know. I don't really watch it other than the couple times that like my girlfriend had it on while I was there. The first thing I wanted to mention was that, well, first off, make sure to be positive, optimistic, keep positive people in you guys' circle that is necessary in order to ensure you have a positive future, right? Now, one thing I want to mention is that The Real has a woman on there by the name of Jess Hilarious. I don't know what her real name is, to be honest. I think it's Jessica, but she's from Baltimore. She's actually local from an area that I kind of, near where I grew up at, so I just thought that was something that's worth mentioning. I just want to say overall, I felt like this interview was rather confrontational, right? Certain parts of the interview struck me as them being confrontational. I really did not like certain parts of it, and there's one person in particular who I didn't like. I like that Andrew Yang placed emphasis on the freedom dividend spending in terms of it not being any of your business, right? So he mentioned, I think it was Verizon or Coke, I don't know. He mentioned the fact that when large companies get dividends or, large sums of money, nobody follows them around and asks them what they do with their money. So why should we be doing that to the poor or those who need the money? I don't like the fact that the woman, there was a snappy woman, kind of thicker woman who was to his left during the interview. I don't like that she was rather confrontational. She asked him when he was talking about the freedom dividend, well, how are we going to pay for it, with that kind of tone, right? And he responded in kind with, well, there won't be anybody at this table, which I kind of really like. I thought that was a great response. Then they began to talk about the freedom dividend raffle, which he offered during the previous debate, which, I think she kind of tried to overshadow by saying, well, we have something called Hotline Bling where we offer our viewers $500 to $1,000. And I was just like, yeah, but that's not what the freedom dividend is. So like, can we not talk about that? Anyway, then she made a statement like, it's nice what you're doing, but like, is it legal? And I was like, okay, I guess that's a fair question, because there could be some violations there. But then he explained that it's not, and he has like an army, a ton of lawyers who agreed that it's legal. And then she followed up with like, oh, so you're like sure it's not legal? I mean, you're sure it's legal? And I'm like, what? I was like, would this lady just let up? Like, did somebody slip her a couple dollars before the interview and like get her to like throw him under the bus? Anyway, he then began to talk about healthcare, immigration, just kind of giving his normal, I think they asked him a question about the minimum wage versus freedom dividend, which he trampled all over as usual, because the minimum wage, and I agree with this perspective, it's not necessarily going to resolve the issue in terms of redefining how we look at work. Fighting automation. All it's going to do is, put a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. He explained it in detail, so watch the Real interview if you didn't. They then, once they took commercial break and came back, they started to talk about impeachment, which I agree that impeaching Donald Trump is necessary, but I do understand the tactical aspect of, are we going to have the votes? Are we going to be able to do it? But I'm one of those people who places morality over everything else. I'm a father of 3 children with 1 on the way. So morality is like up here for me. I'm one of those people who I'd rather die than cross the line of morality in my mind, in terms of certain lines that I have. And what Trump is doing, us standing by and allowing it to happen, is one of those lines. Aside from that, they asked him, I didn't like also how they phrased, they said, well, there's 19 candidates, how are you going to, be sure that you can win? And it's like, 19 candidates? This guy just polled at number 4, like, recently. Do you guys do any research? Like, did you look him up? Do you know who you're talking to? Like, the whole interview, I'm sitting there like, this is Andrew Yang. What are you talking about? Anyways, after that, they asked him a question about converting Donald Trump voters. He gave the numbers on how, he is polling as one of the top candidates who can convert Donald Trump voters, which we all know to be true, except the people on the Real who don't do like any research, and they just bring him on as if he's like a new, fresh candidate that nobody knows. It was appalling to me, because this guy is like, he's Andrew Yang. He's Andrew Yang. So anyways, They ended it on a good note. I feel like I think they ended the interview more on a family vibe, just asking him how he felt about his family and his kids. He mentioned his child having autism, as he always does, the 6-year-old, because I think that's a good way to kind of bond and help people understand that he's not just a politician, and he doesn't say it in a way that the politicians do when they have like these stories that they tell on every run. He does tell it on every one, but it seems genuine every time because it's not fake. I mean, it's brought him to tears, and during the other interview when he was talking about the mass shootings, you can tell that this guy is serious and he really bonds. And then after they talked about, what was it, he said, oh yeah, after they talked about the family bonding, they mentioned they asked him, I think, what was his favorite thing about the campaign, or what was his favorite time during the campaign. They showed the picture or image of him crowd surfing, right? He also mentioned that there was some crowd surfing during the LA rally, which I didn't see, but I also didn't watch like the entire thing, which I need to do. Sorry. He mentioned that crowd surfing was like something that he does. I remember Jess Hilarious, the woman I told you with the white on that was sitting to his right, that's also from Baltimore. She said, oh, so you crowd surf? He was like, yeah. And then the girl on the far left was like, he said yeah. They're like, oh my God, he's human. This guy's not a robot. Like, I think that Andrew Yang is gonna take everybody by storm. Like, I honestly think that they don't understand that this guy's a person. You know what I mean? So in closing, I want to say that I thought the real interview was a success, as every interview that Andrew Yang is in, because I really don't think the guy's capable of failing. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to drive a car over like some nails in the road and see if it catches flat, because I just don't see this guy failing at anything. He's just so freaking awesome. And if I would describe it with a word of negativity, I would say confrontational. It just felt very confrontational. I think eventually he grew on them as the interview kind of went on, but definitely started off a little bit like I was taken aback by how they were. I just kind of felt like, do you guys know who you're talking to? Do you understand who this is? It's Yang, baby. That's about all I got for you guys. I just wanted to give a quick review or synopsis of what I thought of that interview. Thank you guys very much for tuning into my channel and watching my video. Make sure that you're positive, optimistic, and keep positive people in your circle. Visit patreon.com/JGiddins to find out how you can support me and assure that I can keep these going. Yang Gang, I love you.